Karen, go and check that the volume's all right on this. It's on your phone, please. I'm live. I'm actually live, but it's not shown as live. There we go, and we are live. Karen, go and check that the volume's all right on this. There we go. Anyway, good afternoon, welcome. The volume's all right on this. It's on your phone, please. I'm live. Why are we getting double feedback? Let me just go back. I don't want to hear myself. Apologies, new system that I've been trying to work with for about 24 hours to get it working. Anyway, yes, we're live. Kun starts today, we'll give up next season if Kun starts today. What time will the Celtic team do it? There we go. So it is. Just do this. You've got to do the whole thing. It's a total pain in the arse. See this keyboard as well? Yeah. It's a pain in the arse. Yeah. I need the UK keyboard. Good afternoon, welcome back to the channel. Is that looking all right? I'm trying a completely new setup, and bear with me. Cameras for Timu. Yeah, it's the same camera that I was using the other day, but it's running through the software. Good morning from Tenerife. Good morning from Tenerife. The team is out. Sinisalo, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Forrest, Maida, and Adam Idah. And I'll just get the team on the screen. Just give me 2 seconds because I need to do that. Save to downloads. So where's the team? Have a browse this. Should be on the screen now. And it's too small. We'll just do this. There is the team on the screen. Sinisalo, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales starts. Scales, that's an interesting one. Scales is starting. What do you think about Liam Scales starting? It'll be another 90 minutes of trust in CZ making 1,000 passes. Well, it's not because the camera is not as good as yes, Sarah. It's for some unknown reason the software that I'm using is doing something with the camera, and I don't know what. Scales, how the hell is Hatate starting? Yep. Let's see how he does today. On the bench is Bain, trusty. Jota's on the bench. McCoon's on the bench. McCown's on the bench. Jeffrey Sloop's on the bench. Rocky's on the bench. Paulo Bernardo makes a return. Paulo Bernardo does make a return. I wonder if it's because the light's not on actually, as well. If I could do that, and it adds set light. I'll do that after. It's maybe because of the light. I don't know. I need to try it. Glasgow's green and white. Hatate Engels don't deserve to be starting. That 11. They've underperformed for too long, says. Your broadcasting picture is dodgy by something with your tech. Yeah, I'll get it sorted. I've been trying to muck about with it last night. It's a new computer, and I will get it sorted. Scales passes forward more than Trusty. It's a big game for Scales. Scales coming back into it. He's obviously okay after having that operation on his face. What I need to do is actually I need to go into this because I have no idea if YouTube Studio. 2 seconds. Yeah, that's fine. I was just making sure that everything was good. It's working. Yeah. Scales passes more than Trusty. David Bell says, good morning. Peter King says, hail guys. Just go to the game. I have no problem with who starts as long as they perform, says a Mikey boy. Adam Idah's Fenian Army, says Wilson QW. Lindsay says, Christopher, I agree about Engels, but his Tati's been rotten for months. Hatate's not been the best. That picture is thingy, isn't it? It's because of the light as well, because I'm getting light for this side and not that side. I have to do this. Just 2 seconds. And then, where is it? It's there. Then again, if I put that down, is that any better? Yeah, that's better. It's the light, isn't it? That's a bit better. So it is the natural, it's the light. Anyway, it's still a bit fuzzy in the background, which isn't good. Good to see wee Jamesy start. He'll definitely score. Forrest starting. I think Forrest is one player that... why is that just went back off? There's fucking cables all over the place. Cables all over the place. And the lights just went off. There we go. Why is it not staying on? Anyway, Jota, Kuhn and Jota benched would be interesting to know what Brendan really thinks of them. I think Jota's still trying to get up to pace. Jota is still trying to get up to speed with the rest of the team. But then you could say that maybe James Forrest has been injured the majority of this season, well, since December. Will he be up to pace more? Will he be up to pace more than Jota? Or is it they're trying to just do what James is? No, Baz, it's Dev or something like frame rate. Looks laggy. I'll need to try and sort that out. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's running through OBS, so I'm not sure. But I will try and sort it out later today, tomorrow. Kuhn has gone in the summer. That's why his form dipped, just like Kyogo's form before he left in January. But Lindsay, you've got to remember that Kyogo scored 3 goals that were all ruled offside and such in the game against Aston Villa. So, I mean, saying that Kyogo's his form dipped, he did score 3 goals in his last game that were all shouted offside. Anyway, what do you think the score line will be? Is it me that thinks since Jota came back, Kuhn has dipped in form big time? Lanky couldn't, for some unknown reason, I think it's like he's scared to be, it's like he's scared to be put up on the same pedestal as Jota, or he's scared that Jota's going to outperform or outshine him. And that's the way it's coming across to me. It's like Kuhn is scared that Jota was going to come in and steal the limelight. Paulo Bernardo should have started. I think that Paulo Bernardo, it's all about game time with him, isn't it? After being out for so long. Got to remember Paulo Bernardo's been out for a hell of a long time as well. 3-1 says Mikey Boy. Lanky's going for 2-1 Celtic. Stephen Johnson's going for 3-1 Celtic. And Ian Roy's going for 3 or 4-0 today. We'll be fine. With Kilmarnock down at the bottom half of the table, will they be up for a fight the way that Ross said Johnston were? Said Bernardo deserves some minutes. I think Bernardo will come on in the second half. Lorna Gallagher, hi Lorna, how are you? She's going for 4-0. Same as Mary, who is also going for 4-0. Paulo Bernardo will come on in the second half. I think the substitutes in the second half will be Paulo Bernardo, Jota, and Trusty. I think Trusty will come on in the second half. I think that Brendan Rodgers will get game time into Liam Scales today. Liam Scales will not finish the game today due to the fact that he's not played for a few weeks. So it'll just be getting the minutes into his legs and making sure that they give the... there's no young boys on the bench. Yeah, was it? Morning Celtic. Kuhn has definitely dropped 7-2. Jesus, Nick is going for a 7-2 scoreline. 5-0 Celtic just to prove a point, says David. Kuhn form dropped the minute that Idah went into the middle. They both cover the same areas in the final third of the pitch. Kuhn looks better when Idah was in the middle. But why would that make such a difference to Nico Kuhn if Dyson Idah's running through the middle? Because if he's going through the middle, he's not going out to the wings. So it gives him more space. Jota leaves. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. Jota's not going to leave. He's just on the bench. Scales to score. Scales to score with a header today. Scales could score with a header today. Could be from a corner. We're needing one from a corner. It's been a while since we've scored one from the corner. Scares will wear a mask like Kalmak did. I don't know. We'll soon find out. We'll find out. He's had that operation. I'm not exactly sure what the operation was. Kuhn cuts inside. But Jamesy Forrest cuts inside. Jamesy Forrest cuts in, and Jamesy Forrest could score more goals than I mean, Kuhn scored a cracking number of goals this season already, and I think that it'll be interesting if he scores today. Why does Brendan persist with Hatate? His murder, says Hoopy the Doug. Oh, I'll tell you one thing, if Rio Hatate does not get up to that, it is really it. Thingy, the video, isn't it? You can't change it mid-screen either. We need a massive reaction today. Do we need a massive reaction, not just from the players, but from the fans? Is there more than Taylor to score an own goal? Taylor starts, but will he score an own goal? And will he ultimately, cross the divide and go to Rangers? I say Jota admits himself he isn't up to scratch. He said you'll see the best of him next season, says Joseph, which is right. Brendan Rodgers said as well he didn't play a lot of football at the beginning of the season, and hence the reason that he's not up to pace. Could it be the fact that Forrest and Maida on the wing will give you something completely different? And they've got quite a big team, so maybe it's just giving them a kick up the arse. Maybe it is just giving them a complete kick up the arse today. I don't know. Maybe that's what the manager wants to give them a good old boot up the jacksie. Why is this light keeps switching off? I don't know. The fact that Trusty, Jota, Kuhn have all been dropped. Sloop's been dropped as well. Rocky, he's on the bench after not doing too much wrong. I think it's all about just giving Liam Scales some of that game time, much needed game time for him. Let me jump back onto Jota. Scales hat-trick. Will Taylor do a Mo Salah? I don't think so. Mo Salah's just signed an extended contract, I believe, at Liverpool. Will you consider being our next manager, Baz? Not a chance. I don't have the coaching badges, and I'd prefer sitting this side of the screen. It's a lot easier. I think the team will come out flying today. I think so. When you've got Dyson Maida down the wing, you've got James Forrest. We all know that James Forrest likes to cut inside. You've got Adam Idah needs to stick, and Brendan Rodgers has to have told Adam Idah, look, just be a pest in the 6-yard box. You don't need to go out wide. We've got James Forrest is going to be coming in for the width. You've got Dyson Maida on the other side that's going to be coming down. Big Adam Idah just needs to stick in the 6-yard box and be a complete friggin' pest. Be a complete friggin' pest today. New Celtic summer Hawaiian shirt is a belter. I've not seen that, I will admit. We need to play all of the squad from now into the cup final for places up for grabs. We need to get to the cup final. We've just been beaten by St Johnstone, and we play St Johnstone in a game at Hampden before we get to we need to beat them at Hampden. And there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that we will win that game. Especially after the way that we performed up in Perth last week. You know, they'll be going to Hampden thinking, you know what, we're getting relegated, but we've nothing to lose. But anyway, we've got Kilmarnock today, we've got plenty of time to talk about that. Once I get this camera, it's like a lightsaber, that, isn't it? Kalmak is due a goal. Kalmak is due a goal also. Adam Idah needs games. Adam Idah, is this the time of the season that Adam Idah comes to life? Because Adam Idah has scored a good few goals in the run-in last season. And he also scored the winner at the Scottish Cup final. So is this the time that Adam Idah steps up to the mark and goes, do you know what, you've been slagging me off all season. You've been saying that the price tag, the 9 million, was too much. You know, and maybe it's the time that Adam Idah just goes to everyone and scores a couple of goals and starting off today. Baz, we need to get behind the players. That's been chosen, pal. I hope they give every ounce in the game. God bless Mon the Hoops, says Michael McKenna. Yes, we do. And we will get back. The thing is, we will get behind the team. Everyone will get behind the team. It's whether or not the fans will be make enough noise. I know that people say that the team needs to entertain for the fans to make a noise. It wasn't always the case at Celtic Park. You could always get. The crowd gives you that buzz. The crowd gives the players that extra 2 or 3 yards. And I think that although the modern day fan base, it is prawn sandwich stuff, folks sitting on their arse, no singing and no jumping about. It's completely changed from what it was just even 10, 15, not to say, but 20 years ago for definite, under the Martin O'Neill era. Price has nothing to do with Adam Idah. That was Celtic's doing. Exactly, Joseph. It's nothing to do with Adam. He plays the football and just does what he is. It's nothing to do with him. James Forrest getting his goal today. That will do. And then he'll shush everyone again. James Forrest scores again today, and it'll be absolutely. Is it written in the stars for James Forrest to score the first goal today, especially back at Celtic Park? The Celtic team turns up when there's something to play for. The league being over early has killed the players' drive. Shouldn't, but they're humans, says MT Celts Big Rabbi. The league's not won yet. I don't see that. I think it's an attitude issue. The league isn't won yet. You can't start singing and dancing. The players will hear the fans going, well, champions again, ole ole. You know what I mean? But they've got to do the business on the pitch, and they've not been doing that. They've not been doing it. So I don't get. I can understand why Brendan Rodgers getting frustrated and why the players are looking lackadaisical on the pitch, and slow and just not. Are they not interested? Is there players within the squad that they know they won't be there, and is that having an impact on the way that the motivation going on to the pitch, or is it the fact that Callum McGregor is not motivating the players in the team talk? You never know. There could be all sorts of permutations on why Brendan Rodgers has went and made massive changes today, and he will know that. The players that thought they were guaranteed starters, Jota, Kuhn. Schlupp come in and he thought it was a fucking walk in the park. He's like, this fucking league's easy. Do you know what I mean? And I think he was a bit lackadaisical. Will Brendan Rodgers and Celtic even think about offering Jeffrey Schlupp a contract in the summer? Or will they say, look, there's a couple of young guys coming through the B team. There's a guy out on loan in Austria that's been playing okay. Do we really need to spend 20 grand a week on Jeffrey Schlupp when we can bring some of the young guys through for next season? It'll be interesting to see what happens today. And will Greg Taylor finish the match, or will he come off as well? Maybe Greg Taylor waving to everybody coming off. See yes. Oh God, Greg, what are you doing? But anyway, Jamesy 1, Calmac, Myra 3-0 the Hoops, says Charlie. Charlie Parry. Anyway, what does it take for Hatate to be dropped, says Mark. I've asked that one many a time, because if God help us if Rio Hatate has a few bad passes like he's done in the majority of games in the first half. Callum's playing a 3-man game. Engels and Rio helped him out. Yeah. We'd have a settled midfield of 3. I still think that Rio Hatate as good as he is, and I don't want to slate a player before a game, but for as good that Rio Hatate is, there's something else on his mind. And, he's thinking the summer's not too far ahead. The transfer windows is going to open again. And maybe he's just thinking that it's the Scottish League is easy, and he's in. I don't know. We better make a statement today, says David. We better make a big, massive. Bernardo should be first pick, says Wilson QW. I think he should be first pick, but the fact that Bernardo isn't 100% match game time ready, and that's the only thing that's keeping the other two. I think when you've made the changes up front the way that we have, with Forrest and James Forrest and Dyson Myra going down the wing and Adam Idah running through the middle, you're not really wanting to make too many more changes in the midfield. You want to try and keep that continuity, as Dr. Joe Venglos used to say. And then the one change at the back, well, the two changes you could see at the back is Scales and Taylor coming in. But Scales needs the game time. Scales needs the game time, and he needs to just get the legs running again. I think Scales will get 60 minutes, and then Scales will get taken off just to get his fitness up. And this is all about maintaining the fitness now at this point. We know that we're 2 games away from winning the league. Brendan Rodgers will want to make sure that the fitness levels start getting up, so that, thinking with the game in mind at Hampden, with that big pitch at Hampden, players wanting to prove that they should be in that starting 11 for the game at Hampden in a couple of weeks. But yep, Paulo Bernardo will be in and around. Paulo Bernardo will come on in the second half today. Idah's not a good striker, no point beating around the bush. As for that wee Hunt Taylor starting, Rodgers needs to get a grip, says Wicks 8888. I've missed the chat of this. Oh man, see when the laptop died, it was just a nightmare. But yeah, Adam Idah's not a good striker. Nobody was saying, can I just play devil's advocate on that part, right? Because nobody was saying that Adam Idah was a bad striker when we had him on loan last season. Nobody was saying when he was scoring. I said that he would score 9 goals between since the Christmas transfer window and the end of the season. He did. He scored the 9 goals. I think that he will know that he could have scored more this season, but you can't say he's a bad player when he's not got the game time that Kyogo Furuhashi got. I mean, I think that the amount of chances that Kyogo missed at the first half of the season, I think Adam Idah would have put them away. Because there was the majority of them. It'll be interesting to see Adam Idah just stick into the 6-yard box today and playing right through the middle. Not seeing him going outside, not seeing him going out to the wing, which he does at times. But I hope Brendan Rodgers will say, just stay in that 6-yard box, be a friggin' pest and wait on the ball coming into you. Simple as that. It's just simple game time today. I've just took a stroke reading Dan's comment. Dan, well, I'm going to say that I think we'll Baz. If it score 3-1 or 1-0 will do me. Says Danny Cassie, Celtic just keeping Hatate in the shop window. Are we keeping him in the shop window though? I think that if any club's going to come in for Hatate, they'll already have looked at Hatate and what he could do in the Champions League. I don't think that they're going to be looking at games like this to see what Rio Hatate's like. They'll have seen enough at a higher level. Maybe they didn't play high enough. Maybe they didn't perform as good as in the Derby game. Maybe people will look at that. But I think that any club that is coming in for Rio Hatate will be looking at his performances in the Champions League to see how he would play at a higher domestic level, one of the top 5 leagues, as they like to say. Adam Idah needs a run of games before he can be judged. Can't judge him in 15-20 minutes here and there. Exactly, John 67. Exactly. That's quite good. There's no lag time at all on that. Interesting. Quite good. I'm learning about the speed of this thing, and I'm just still working on it. I think it's frustrating struggle watch today. I think it's going to be a frustrating struggle watch today. It always is, Ali Boy, at home, because you'll get teams that will play with 5 at the back, and as much as I don't like it, Kilmarnock will set themselves up to play 5 at the back. So let me just get this up. I mean, Kilmarnock are down in ninth, right? I mean, Kilmarnock are in serious trouble. If Ross County and Dundee both win today, right, and get above Kilmarnock, it puts Kilmarnock back down into the relegation zone, which is fantastic because I want Kilmarnock to get put down. I mean, St Johnstone, I don't think St Johnstone are going to be, they're not safe yet, but Kilmarnock are safe. Kilmarnock are going to not want to lose today. So they're going to set up to not lose. They're not going to try and score goals, but 1 point to Kilmarnock gets them 1 point further away from St Johnstone. And that's the way that they'll see it. And that's the way that, that they'll try and play today. And they'll wait till about the 80th minute and then they'll try and have a go at Celtic. It's always the same. But Celtic need to find a way, Brendan Rodgers needs to find a way of getting the players to react and pass quicker so that rather than having, I mean, if Kilmarnock set up on their 18-yard box and set up as a 5 and then they don't move that 5 for the 18-yard box, the game's a bogey. It's going to be a nightmare watch today. But anyway, Hatate is not worth more than 5 million due to his inconsistency during the season. But it's time he moves on for his own good as a player, says MT Celts Big Rab B. Roger says, I don't understand the criticism Idah gets. He does everything right on the pitch. I just think that when Celtic fans, I've said it before on the channel, Celtic fans always need a player to have a dig at. It was Stephen Welsh before he went away at the last transfer window to go out on loan. I think that the Celtic fan base, the modern Celtic fan base, always needs a player to pick on. And Adam Idah just seems to be the right player. God hell mend you. I mean, I was criticising Rio Hatate back in December and I was getting slated for it. I was getting slated for saying that Rio Hatate's head drops during games, and you could see what was coming with Rio Hatate. You could see that his form had been going down all season, but I got slated for it back in December. But Hatate just could not get any criticism. And now that it's happened more and more in the last few weeks, that his passing's been woeful, the first half of games and stuff, and Brendan Rodgers will not drop him. But anyway, what a bench. Where is Yang? He doesn't make the bench because you've got Jota and Kuhn on the bench. So when you've got Jota and Kuhn on the bench, it means that Yang's not going to get a start. Unfortunate for Yang, but it's the way it is. You've got replacements for both sides of the pitch. I think it's a kick-up. It's a shame for Yang, but he's just down the pecking order. When you've got James Forrest, who would have been on the bench, Adam Idah would have been playing through the middle, which would have meant that, excuse me, that Adam Idah would have been on the bench. You've got to feel for Johnny Kenny. Because there's no strikers on the bench. There are no strikers on the bench, which means that there's every chance that Adam Idah will be put into the middle of the park. No, it's Adam Idah will come off. Dyson Maeda will go into the middle of the park for Jota to come on in the second half. Or James Forrest to get around about 60 minutes, and then you might see Nico Kuhn and Jota coming on in the second half, which means Adam Idah will come off and James Forrest, while Dyson Maeda goes through the middle. You've got to feel for Johnny Kenny. He's done nothing wrong. Brendan Rodgers said he's a fantastic finisher. He's from 25 yards out. He's one of the best finishers we've got at the club. He can't even get a seat on the bench because he's put Jota and Kuhn on the bench. Would you have dropped Kuhn completely to bring in young Johnny Kenny? Yang's injured, arm in a sling for 2 weeks. Oh, there you go, says John. Ralston should be starting. Should Tory Ralston, Stephen Johnson, Yang is injured? There we go. What should I call it? Oh, jeez. We'll just go this. I've been saying Hatate is a passenger all season, says David. Expect more changes, to be honest. I expected more changes, says Kevin. I'm just trying to... Oh, Jesus. I've missed the comment section on this. Ralston deserves a start. Tony Ralston, who plays absolutely fantastic when he plays for Scotland, he can't get a start on the bench because he's not going to get a start unless Alistair Johnson has a really, really bad game. I mean, Alistair Johnson, his form's not been the best, but I'd put Ralston in midfield for a bit of aggression. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Nah. He's taken away. Nah. Hope Jamesy gets his goal today, says Lorna. Good to see him back. I thought Ralston McCowan would come in. I think that Celtic know, and Brendan Rodgers, he likes Luke McCowan as a player, but I think he knows his limitations. And why no poll today? What do you want to do a poll about? Let me just get used to using this new computer before we start the polls and stuff. Johnson is better. Johnson's better than. Alistair Johnson's way better than Ralston. Is that? I would have dropped Sloop on the bench for Kenny. We want a poll, Buzz. What time is it? See, everything, the clock and everything's in the wrong place. Right. Start poll. It's this keyboard as well. It's a Spanish keyboard. I can't. Would you have dropped? Who's in the bench? There you go. Would you have dropped Kuhn from the bench? Would you have dropped Kuhn from the bench and bring in Johnny Kenny? There's your poll for the day. Would you have dropped Kuhn from the bench? Never mind just dropping from the team. Would you have dropped Kuhn from the bench altogether to then allow Johnny Kenny to come into the team? Slip for Taylor. Taylor back in the team against Kelly. Say unreal. His form gives them gifts. How many players from clubs around the world plays? I think a lack. Jylin, you're right. I think a lack of rotation by Brendan Rodgers at points this season has had an impact. Kuhn needs to get a rest. Anglo National says absolutely not. George Haggerty says Adam Idah's good and he will come good. Lanky says, I 100% drop Kuhn for the team. Forrest is going to run riot today. Let's hope that he does. He's shite. He's shite. Sloop has been pushed at fault for the last 2 goals. If that's Taylor, he's getting ripped. Sloop gets the same treatment. Sloop, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that Celtic are going to offer Jeffrey Sloop a contract. I don't think that Jeffrey Sloop will be offered a contract at Celtic. I think that Brendan Rodgers likes him as a player, but he's came in and done a job. I don't think, Sloop was a panic signing. I don't think he was a panic signing to appease the fans. He was a panic signing because Alex Baye wanted to go to Italy. You know, when a Barcelona legend makes enough noises to come for you to go and play for him, and you're for Barcelona, you're going to go all day long. You're going to want to go, but Taylor out. Brendan needs to take a look at himself. Never mind the players. Square Sausage Rick says that Wex. He remembers when Wex says that Dyson Maida was shite. 3-0. Alan Weir's go for 3-0 today. Also, Taylor out, Hitati out. I think it's going to get interesting over the next couple of weeks because transfer speculation will ramp up completely, and it would be good to. It would be interesting to see who we do let go this summer. I think that'd be a good one. If Taylor made the mistake Sloop has, our fans would explode with rage, says John67. Don't sin bin a player for their attitude and form. We need a performance. I'm not sin bin on Kuhn. I just think that people asked for a poll and that was the first thing that came out. 30 quid on Engels to score 2 or more goals, says T1. 30 quid on Engels to score 2 or more goals today. I can't see that. It's a good bet. I hope you got good odds for it. Turn that screen this way. Kuhn has maybe had his head turned. The link to Newcastle United. They've been tracking Kuhn, and if they do come in for Nico Kuhn, Celtic will sell him. Dave Hislop says 5-0 Celtic today. Celtic at the end of the season. Fact, because some of you Celtic get off his back, and I don't believe Celtic, says George. I don't think he's going to leave at the end of the season, but one of the group chats said yesterday that they think he might leave. And some people have been saying that you never know, it could be a straight swap back. I know that he's got to the later stages of European competition with Spurs, but as you're cutting in and out. I don't know why that is then. Shouldn't be. So it is. It's lagging, isn't it? Why is that? The League's One players seem injured, but I'm getting lagging. That's never happened before. Engels is still up. Yes, he is still up. I'm going to have to change something. Just. I'll do it later. Don't know why it's getting serious. But the voice is all squeaky. I'm going to finish this lap because I find out what's going on. We'll be live after the game. Make sure you join me for that. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are.